Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's October the 6th, 2025, and this is a regular online meeting of the West Shore Photography Club. Welcome to the meeting. I'm Dennis Baker, club president, and your host for this evening. We have, of course, a before and after presentation, but before we get to that, let's talk about a few business items. Number one, and very importantly, it's a new club year, so it is time to renew your membership if you have not already done so. I know many of you have, but if you have not, it's still $25 and it can be done either very easily online through the club website using the PayPal link, but you don't even have to have a PayPal account. You do have to have a credit card though. Right? Or you can do it the old school way and mail Rich Hudson a check for $25. I'll put that information in the follow-up email tomorrow. Very importantly, we have a print exhibit coming up during the month of November at the Mechanicsburg Arts Center. I certainly hope we're well represented. They have space for lots and lots of prints, so you can enter one, two, or three prints. All that information has been issued in a previous email, and I'll send that out again. So I hope you will enter at least one print, possibly two or three. Again, we want to be well represented. The intake dates are later in October. They're listed in the email. There's two dates listed. You simply take your prints over to the Mechanicsburg Arts Center, drop them off. There is a small entry fee just to help pay for administrative costs.
Dennis, can I remind everybody of something?
Yes, Mike.
They're to be framed under glass and ready to hang. So you can head for Michael's and then get your print sizes and all that. But they're to be hung.
Well, yes. And in fact, they need the wire hangers.
Correct.
They can't accept the sawtooth hangers.
Right.
Has to be wire. And all that's spelled out in detail, in the email that will go out again tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Jean for some information about trips.
Hi, everyone. We have 3 trips this month. Excuse me, starting on this Saturday, the 11th, we're going to be going to Dry Run and Ketchum Falls. Steve is going to lead that trip. If you want to carpool, you can meet at the Arby's at Camp Hill at 9 o'clock. I think one email went out yesterday, and then one will be going out again on Friday for that. On the 18th, we're going to be going to Old Bedford Village for the Pumpkin Festival. And that's on your own, so it's not really club sponsored type thing. It's if you want to go, you can meet us in the after you pay for your admittance, and that will be going out. That email will be going out hopefully tomorrow. And Mary and I will be helping. If you need any help, you can look for one of us, and we're going to be meeting down there at 10 o'clock. And then on the 25th, Dennis and Mark are going to be leading us for a scavenger hunt at Pine Grove Furnace at 9 o'clock in the morning. So look forward to Dennis's email on that and his list of things to scavenge. Dennis?
Thanks, Jean. Regarding that scavenger hunt, here's the philosophy. Usually when we go on a trip like Pine Grove Furnace, which is a great place to walk, even just to walk around, but also to photograph, when we go, when we meet and then we disperse, everybody kind of goes their own way and does their own thing. And a lot of times there's not a whole lot of direction in the photographing, just looking for pictures. So what we thought we would do would come up a list of not only subjects, but techniques that we challenge you to try. So this is all voluntary, and there's no judging or competition. There's no awards or anything, just a pat on the back. But it's also a little bit of self-information about how maybe how extensive your repertoire is of techniques. So it might be take a picture of the water, okay, and make it sharp. And then the next one would be take a picture of the water, but you want the water to blur and everything else to be sharp. Okay, so not only subjects, but techniques involved. So we hope you'll accept the challenge and join us at Pine Grove Furnace. And even if you don't want to follow the scavenger hunt, certainly come and join us for the photo shoot. Okie doke. Anyone else have anything for the good of the order before we get into the meat of the program? Okay, very good. Tonight's a before and after. We've tried this before and it's gone over fairly well. We have 8 entries, and if we have time, I'll want to take one too, so that would be 9. But I think there's going to be enough time for lots of interaction. So with each entry, we're going to ask the photographer to talk about how they got to the after version. So we'll show before and after, and I generally have it set up to show the before first. So if you want to, for some reason, show the after one first, let me know and I'll skip ahead real quickly and then we'll go backwards. But after that, then I'd like to open it up for each photographer and get some discussion going. I see we have 17 people in the meeting, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get some discussion going about each one of the photographs. So give me just a sec here. I'm going to share my screen and show these images. And hopefully this will work. Okay, open with, and Kurt explained to me how to do this with preview. Okay, Mary Eileen, is that your first image?
Yes, that is my first image.
And that's before.
That is the before, yep.
Okay, it's all yours.
Okay, I live in Midtown Harrisburg, and as many people know, or maybe some people don't know, the Broad Street Market, the back building, the brick building, suffered a very bad fire. Oh, geez, what, a year and a half ago? Seems like longer, but anyway. And unfortunately, it's still sitting there waiting to be, it's just recently started. They've recently started to get going on fixing the place up, but it has sat for a long time. And slowly but surely, some of the boards and doors and things covering and enclosing it have fallen, been taken away, whatever. So I've started taking pictures of it before they start to renovate. And this was one I took the other day. I was walking around looking to see what I could find. And I looked down this way. This is looking in the back door, like from 6th Street, looking towards the courtyard. The door was, you couldn't see all the way through. And then all of a sudden, a little bit later, I noticed that the door was open and you could see straight through and you could see the doors on the other side. So I shot it. So I did, a bunch of shots. It's pretty hard to do because there's a chain link fence around the whole thing. But I had, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks, no, 2 weeks ago, for the critique, I had submitted one of the first ones that I took and converted. And Bryson had recommended about turning the outside pieces of it, like the wall around the door, turning it dark so that the inside brightens up. So I decided to try to do that with this one, and try to bring that, what's inside that cavity, the room, that's the back part, or it's actually the front part of the building that did not occur. The fire only went about halfway through, but the rest of it suffered smoke damage, water damage, but the roof is still on there for now. And you're looking at the back part where the roof is gone. So I shot that and decided that I would work with that and try to follow the same pattern I'd used for the first one that Bryson had critiqued. So, want to go to the next one?
Yes, I do. I'm supposed to just advance. There we go. Got it.
There we go. There we go. I enlarged it. I took it straight into as much as I could into the part of the building that this roof is still on, but the windows in the roof were all shot out, so it was getting a lot of light. And I had I decided to try to do what Bryson had suggested. So that outside wall that had been very bright because it was outside and there was no roof protecting it from the sunlight, I darkened that down a lot. I also put it into black and white because I think it just, it does better justice to the scene than with the Keller. But I like the fact that I could see in there and see the light fixtures hanging there. Over by the door, I thought it was pretty humorous. There's a fire hydrant, not a fire hydrant, a fire extinguisher that's still sitting there. But I darkened the outside and then did a lot of work of opening up and lightening up the inside so that you could see the inside better. It popped more, and it was a better, I think it's a better image because you can see inside, you can see straight through. Those doors lead to the courtyard between the brick and the stone building. And I just have wanted to start, I've taken some other shots every so often. I go over to see what other boards are down and if there's anything else I can get an image of. But I just kind of wanted to collect some images of the damage after the fire and what it's looking like and how it's pretty sad for the community right now. So that's it.
Yeah, especially sad that it's taken so long to get any
Oh,
work
yes,
done on it.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's open it up for comments or questions. Just unmute yourself. There's only 17 people in the meeting, so it shouldn't be too chaotic. Who has a question or a comment for Mary Eileen? Mike.
At one time in our photography careers, we were always taught expose for this, expose for that, expose for the highlights, expose for the shadows, expose. Well, the way the modern sensors are now, I'm starting to lean toward being able to pull stuff out of the shadows. And this is perfect, absolutely perfect. The first one, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And here you are, you can see the whole works. I like the edit sign being exit sign being crooked. It's perfect with all the rest. It's really great, really, really great.
Thank you.
And it is so ironic to have that fire extinguisher on the wall.
Yes, yes, I thought that was a good one. Yeah.
You must be
I got it.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Nope,
interrupt
you're
you,
fine.
Dennis. No, this is Doug. Just a quick question. When you shot the original photograph, did you shoot in RAW or JPEG or both?
RAW.
And RAW. Okay, so
I always shoot in RAW.
okay. So you made the adjustments from RAW then. Okay. Which RAW editor did you use?
I use Photoshop.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one more one question is,
Sure, Mike.
did you have this finished product in mind when you took the original?
Sort of, yes, sort of. Only because of what Bryson discussed on the one I submitted a couple weeks ago for the critique. That was the first one I ever finished, I guess, worked on and finished and presented. And so as I'm looking down in there, I'm thinking, you know what, I want to remember what Bryson recommended that I do for post-processing. So yeah, I kind of did think that about it as I'm taking the photo, plus the fact that I was also thinking about getting my lens in there in between the holes of the chain link fence. But yeah, I sort of had that in mind, yes.
Now, I don't see any evidence of the chain link fence at all. Were you able to get your lens actually in between one of the openings?
This one, yes, because I took multiples of them. This was probably, oh, I don't know, maybe third or fourth time I was out trying to photograph it. And I learned early on to take multiple pictures because I keep trying to, I sometimes accidentally move slightly and then get part of the fence in there. So I worked very hard on this one to get it squeezed into the fence. But yeah, there was no fence to eliminate on this one.
Okay.
Mary
Very good.
Eileen, it's Patty Volpe. Actually like that I can see the chain link fence through the windows and the door.
Oh, that's on the other side. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's on the other side of the building. Yeah.
Very good. Other comments or questions?
Hi, everybody. This is Joan. I really like this version of this picture. I like it in black and white. It's a completely different feel. And I like the repeating lines in this. The rafters for one, and also the archways. I didn't realize till I was looking at it, and there's so much detail in this picture if you really start to look at it. And the repeating lines of the archways are, I think, really cool too, because when you step back a little bit and look, you're looking through an archway. And I didn't really get that at first until I really started looking at it. And I think the black and white brought that out a lot better.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Joan. And that raises an interesting question, Mary Eileen. Did you consider moving your camera to the left so that the archways would be in the center of the doorway? Or did you want them off to the side?
I was pretty much restricted by that fence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, you know, a different composition would be to have them centered, you know, in
Much
the
more centered. Yes.
middle. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just if you're curious, let's go back one. There's the original. Wow, what a difference. Ah, yeah, it looks like two totally different pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. Any
All
other
right.
last chance? Any other comments or questions? Do. Okay, very good. Okay, I think this is Doug's, right?
It is.
Okay, buddy, it's all yours.
All right, thanks. So this is an interior shot of the Bernathen Cathedral in Bernathen, and I actually posted on the Facebook page the after version of this.
I'm sorry, where is that?
It's in Bernathen, Pennsylvania, it's in Montgomery County.
Oh, okay.
I actually grew up about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away from, probably 10 minutes away from that cathedral, but I'd never been in it until the first time a couple of years ago when I went with some friends. But they're very accommodating. It's a beautiful cathedral. It's well worth a visit. And they're very happy if you want to go in and take pictures and walk around. And they actually have a guided tour that they start, I think, at 1 p.m., which is really well worth taking because you get to see all the nooks and crannies of the place that you really wouldn't be able to see otherwise. But anyway, it's just an interesting place. And the Chester County Camera Club has sponsored a visit there. So it had been a couple of years. I said, okay, I'm going to go back.
Oh.
So
Are you a member of the Chester County Club?
I am. Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that sometime, compare notes. I don't know anything.
Sure. Anytime.
Okay.
So this was shot, I don't know, probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning on a very sunny day. And, this image has got a lot of problems. The horizon line is not straight. It's pretty underexposed. For the interior, the windows are actually a little bit overexposed. And there's distortion because I used a wide angle lens, and I'm sorry, I can't remember what the equivalent full frame focal length was, but it was wide, probably around I don't know, 18 millimeters or something like that. So what I did first was to let me say let me tell you the conditions. I shot this at 1600 ISO, -1, -1 EV, f9 and 20th of a second, and I shot it in spot highlight metering mode. To try to preserve as much of the highlights as I could in the windows. But you can see, even with all of that, with the negative exposure compensation and the metering, the choice of metering mode, it still blew out the windows a fair amount. So the first thing I did was I denoised it using DxO Pure Raw, which spits out a raw file, an Adobe raw file, but also a JPEG. And it gives it a little bit of sharpening and adds some lens correction as well, because it recognizes from the metadata what camera and lens you're using. And it's pretty good for the distortion correction. It's outstanding for noise reduction. But that really wasn't enough in terms of distortion correction. So I brought it into Photoshop Elements, Adobe Elements 2025, and did some manual distortion corrections on that to try to straighten things out. And you'll be able to see that in the after photo in a minute. And then I cropped it, I rotated it, and I dropped the highlights, and I increased the shadows to correct the obvious issues with the photo. And then it needed a little sharpening, and I like Adobe products are good for sharpening, but I have an old version of Topaz Sharpen AI, which I still think is pretty much best in class. It's a shame Topaz is going south with their subscription stuff. But anyway, I sharpened it a little bit. And then what I did then was I brought it into another Topaz product, which no longer is for sale, unfortunately, called Studio 2. And they have a whole bunch of different presets. They're like LUTs, essentially, but they're extremely customizable. And I used what's called the Dramatic HDR preset, and made some tweaks in terms of the exposure, bringing that up just a little bit. And then finally, and this is a little bit kitschy, I did this because I'd never used this function before, but I brought it finally into Luminar AI, Luminar Neo AI, and there's a magic light AI tool which takes point light sources and creates starbursts out of them, and that is very customizable too in terms of the definition of the starbursts and a whole bunch of other stuff. And whether you like it or not, it's a matter of taste. But I was curious to see how this would work, so I thought, okay, this is a decent shot to try it on, because you have the interior lights, so prominently in the image. And I added and I used that to add the starburst. So that's pretty much what I did. Dennis, if you could show the after photo.
Okay, here we go. Ta-da! You like to play with your programs, don't you?
Yes and no. I mean, to tell you the truth, I've got a lot of them, that's for sure. I'm guilty of having too many. But what I find is that certain programs do certain things better than others. And so, after having used these things, I just sort of gravitate to the program that does what I want it to do for that step the best. And so sometimes it's Affinity, sometimes it's Adobe, sometimes it's Luminar, Topaz, whatever. But it's not hard. I mean, it's an extra step, but it's not a big deal. I'm not processing thousands of pictures or anything like that.
Yeah, dramatic change. Questions, comments?
This is Joan. When I saw this, I just went, wow. That's an incredible change on that. And I love the fact that you can see in the shadows, number one, but also the color came out. The color from outside came in. And I really like that. And I like particularly like the stained glass windows up on the upper left. are now a lot more visible. But yeah, my first comment would be wow.
It's a beautiful church. It really is. I don't remember what it was. It was modeled after one of the cathedrals in Europe. And I when I took the tour, they told me, but of course I've forgotten since then. But it's, yeah, the stained glass windows are really quite beautiful. And the light, when you go during the day, of course, that influences how they look.
Is your camera about height level? Normally, it seems to be kind of high.
I crouched down a little bit, but not a whole lot. And the reason was I wanted to maintain as much of the arches that you see going back on the ceiling. And when I actually tried going down lower, but I lost too much of that and got more of the benches, which I thought were maybe a little bit less interesting in the image.
No. Now, let's go back just for the fun of it. There's come on, my program's stuck. Let's see. There we go. There's the original. There's the after. Questions, comments?
It's rather awesome for sure.
Rather.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What was that?
I said it's rather awesome for sure.
Well, thank you.
And again, it's when we take the original photograph, it's not finished. It's not what we have in mind usually. I always say, we make the cake and then it's time to put the icing on. So it's a two-step thing, and this is really great.
Doug, the Starburst, what program did you say you did that with?
That was Luminar Neo.
Oh, okay.
And if you go, let me just open it up now. If you go, you edit, you bring in an image to edit, and then there's the catalog presets and then the edit pane. If you go to the edit pane and you go to Magic Light AI,
okay.
Yeah, you can adjust the intensity, size, beam width, glow, clearness, brightness, number of beams, and rotation, as if that weren't enough.
And it automatically finds the existing light sources?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, another question. How long have you been using Topaz Studio 2?
For a long time, I love that program. And I think it probably came out around 5 years ago. There was a Studio One that was really an amalgamation of individual sort of programs that they had, and then they packaged it into Studio One. And then a couple years after that, they came out with Studio Two, and Studio Two was a little bit easier to use, I would say. You lost a little bit of functionality, but not a lot. And it was just a better program to navigate. And then around 2 to 3 years ago, Topaz decided that they were not going to offer their what they call creative apps anymore. And they basically stopped selling it and wouldn't. I mean, you can download it if you have an existing license, but if you contact them and then you say, okay, I want to buy this program, they're going to tell you, no, we don't sell it or support it anymore, which of course is a worry because every new operating system upgrade that comes out is a chance to break something. Like with Mac, what is it, Tahoe 26, the new one, Studio One no longer works. Studio Two does.
That's good to know. And what does Studio 2 have in this image?
Oh, dramatic. The HD, the dramatic, pardon the pun, the dramatic HDR filter is probably one of my favorites there, because what it does is it adjusts saturation and contrast, but not, I mean, the contrast panel for Studio 2 has like micro contrast, mid contrast, global contrast. I mean, it's infinitely adjustable. And if you're Dennis, I'll send you. I'll try to find this or something close to it. With before and after the dramatic HDR, and you'll see the difference. It's really incredible. I haven't really found. What's this one? Smart Photo Editor can come relatively close to it,
Okay.
but and that's available still, and it's the best $29.95 you'll ever spend.
I think
From
one of our members in
Anthropics.
Colorado, Judy Kime, I think uses that one.
It's good for a lot of things. It's got a billion presets. It's lousy for masking. Don't even bother trying to mask on it. But you can get fairly close to the Topaz results with that.
Very good. Well, I have some good news for our members. If you are interested in Topaz Studio 2, it is available. You can download it and it's free. If you have, it's not obvious, immediately how you get it. So if you're interested, contact me and I can send you instructions. I found out about it about a month ago. The Maryland Photographic Alliance held a webinar in which a gentleman gave a presentation about creative techniques, and he used Topaz Studio 2 and said that, hey, it's still available, even though it's not supported. You can download it and it's free. They put you on a couple week free trial. And every time you open it, then you have to accept the trial, but then it's usable. And I've been able to do some cool things with it, as Doug has said. It's a pretty cool program, as long as it continues to work. Okay, let's see if anybody has questions or comments about your photo. Anybody else?
Hi, Mary Eileen here. I really like how the warm colors, in contrast with the cool colors coming through the windows. That's a really nice combination. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. Nice work.
Thank you.
Okay, others?
Doug, this is Joan. I have a question. I absolutely love Studio 2. I haven't worked with it much lately, but I used to work with it a lot. Did you put any type of preset on this from Studio 2?
Yes, the preset that I used was called Dramatic HDR.
Oh, okay. Because there's incredible, I think everybody should download this and try it, because there are just incredible presets on this program. I was really upset when they decided they weren't going to support it anymore. Luckily I have it, but it's
You
an
just got
incredible program.
just watch the operating system upgrades. Like I said, Studio
Oh.
One, when I downloaded Tahoe on my Mac, Studio One just crashes every time that you launch it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God. But Studio
Yeah,
2 still works, but you got to be careful.
Okay, well, I don't think I ever had Studio One. And then when Studio 2 came out, I got that right away. But it's so much fun. There's so much you can do on there.
Oh yeah, it's an incredible program. It really is.
Okay. Other questions or comments for Doug? Excellent, excellent. Yep, let's move on. Okay, there we go, Mike.
In I think it was 2003. Let me check my phone. Yes, September 13th, 2003. I went to a parade. My aunt worked at the Hershey Chocolate Factory for 44 years, and she got me interested in the principles of the company and the ideas, and I became a collector of Hershey chocolate items. So on September 13th, which is Mr. Hershey's birthday, 2003, there was a parade honoring the 100th anniversary of the company. And during the parade, there was, I just looked, it said there were 7,000 participants in the parade. It was gigantic. And each section had these things at the beginning of it. They were called feather flags. So they were tall and skinny, like the ones in front of the pizza place. It says open. It's shaped like a feather, actually. But that's what I started with. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I thought they were cool. Each section had a different colored one. Some had different colored squares. Some were silver, purple, striped. It didn't matter. I took them all. At the time, I had no idea why, but I took them all. So go to about 3 years ago, and Calc, of which I'm a member, has a membership show, and each year it's a different color. Well, a couple years ago, it was gold. And I thought, what do I have that's gold? Oh, I have the feather flags. So I wanted to do something with those. So what I did was, and go ahead, Dennis, to the next one, please. What I did was I had the idea that gold is not kind of what it's cracked up to be. In that respect, I mean, gold causes all kinds of trouble. Gold has torn families apart. Gold has caused people to lose their lives trying to find it. There are gold mines in Africa that are just horrendous conditions. So I wanted to kind of show the other side of gold. And I put this in the show and I called it The Truth About Gold. Now, in order to do this, I wanted it to look dirty and old and undesirable. So I went with textures. There was a little gap in between the two flags. I closed that up. I emphasized the wrinkles so that it would not look smooth and beautiful in any way. You can see there's like a border on the left and the right side. So the idea was to show that gold is in some ways a problem. So Dennis, if you want to jump back to the first one just to compare and then jump to the other one,
Sure.
you can do that. So that's where we started. You see there's a little gap in between them. And if you look carefully, like I got rid of the seams and so on. So go ahead and jump to the other one now, please. So the gap is closed. You can see the seams look more like stitches now. So I went with that look. So that's the idea. And I wanted to show an abstract tonight to kind of show that you can do a lot of things with weird stuff.
Indeed.
And that's it.
All right. Questions or comments? There's got to be some questions and comments about this one.
So yeah, this is Doug. You see a lot more texture in this version than the original. How did you bring that out?
The texture I brought out with contrast, and I use on one. And there's an on one, I don't know if you want to call it an app or what, but it's called dynamic contrast. And what that will do is sharpen and increase contrast at the same time. And then going from there, I put some textures on it so it would look more gritty. And that had the happenstance of also bringing out more of the texture and contrast. So it's dynamic contrast and also some textures on that.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it looks good.
Thanks a lot.
There does seem to, it seems to me a little bit of a contradiction because gold implies metallic, but yet this is a cloth. So you're looking at gold as a color more than a mineral.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Because it's, just the word gold brings to mind a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of history, the 49ers. It brings pain, it brings joy. Just the word gold does a lot.
Why the border on the right and left edges?
A couple reasons. Number one is at one point it struck me as that they use what's called a sluice to while they're panning for gold, and they dump it in the sluice and the water
I'm going for Madison.
rushes the stuff away
Mm-hmm.
and so on. So I thought the borders made it look a little bit like the water that was running down through the sluice.
Okay. Very good. Other questions, comments?
Mike, it's Mary Fox here. I love this abstract. I call it an abstract, but I love the fact that it looks wrinkled and textured, and believe it or not, I'm seeing green more than gold, but I love it. Whatever it is, I just love what you did with it.
Thank you. The idea was to not have it look smooth because that's when gold has beauty.
Mm-hmm. Well, it shows.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi,
Okay.
Mike. It's Mary Eileen Carson. The lines, I just love the movement of those lines in there also.
Thanks. And if you remember, we talk a lot about diagonals making movement.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. And it took a while to search out the part of the flags I wanted to use. It's a really tight crop. And the camera was, it was 2003. It was this little dinky thing. And actually, it played to my advantage because it wasn't so clean of an image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment, Mary Eileen, because as I look at the image, my eye just wanders and wanders around following the lines and looking for a pattern and anything I might recognize. And then down in the lower right-hand corner, it looks like a topographic map with the hills and the valleys. All right.
It's kind of like you're using that map to look for gold.
Oh, there you go.
It kind of looks like the Southwest a little bit to me. And going through the valleys and the rocks, maybe looking for gold, looking for something.
Oh, so it reminds you of a topographic map too?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And then aside from that, then you've got the big curve coming down. Well, I'm coming down from the top to the bottom, but you could go up. But for some reason, I want to come down from that. And to me, it's like being in the canyons and the valleys and the sharp rocks and the, um, denseness of the Southwest.
Yeah, I think the Colorado River's in there somewhere.
There you go. That's exactly what I'm trying to get at. Is that if you look deep enough, there's a river in there.
Very good.
I can see Mike branding Bonanza on this, and I just dated myself.
It's true. Well, Sigmund Freud said sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
It's true.
But it's great to hear all this because that's what an abstract should do. It means different things to different people, which I don't usually title things, but to be in that show, you had to. And I wanted to sort of guide the fact that this was about dirty gold.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, final opportunity here. Other comments or questions? Thanks, Mike. Okay, Joan?
Oh, okay. I better get ready here, huh? Well, this to me, when I first saw it, a lot of us know we're just coming kind of out of hummingbird season. They've all kind of left us. So I spent weeks shooting hummingbirds, and I loved the way the shape of the hummingbird's body, and I loved. Well, this is my first take when I'm looking at it. I loved the contrast between the tail and the red flower behind it. So if you go to the finished picture, so I thought, how can my goal was to bring the hummingbird out. So if you want to go back, Dennis, it'll make more sense on what I did. Thank you. So anyway, I cropped this many times to see how I best could do that. I ended up with a square crop because there was no room for me under the bird. I didn't want the pot in it at all. So there wasn't a lot of room under the bird. I could have added background in Photoshop, but I decided not to do that because I ended up liking the square crop enough to keep it. I shoot with a high pixel camera, so I wasn't a high megapixel camera, so I wasn't worried about cropping it. I mean, I could probably crop it to see his eye if I wanted to. So after I got it cropped to where I wanted it, I put it through Topaz Photo AI to get some of the noise out of it. Because if you've shot hummingbirds, you've got a very high shutter speed. Sometimes your ISO is pretty high. This might have even been, 8,000, 12,000, something like that. So I wanted to get the noise out of it. Now, sometimes I prefer the noise reduction in Lightroom to take it out of the bird because it doesn't dilute the sharpness in it as much as Photo AI does sometimes. But what I also find with the Lightroom denoise is it often doesn't get it out of the background enough. So you can take your photo into Topaz Photo AI and select it to denoise just the background.
Mhm.
And then it keeps your image, it keeps your subject very sharp. It takes the noise out of the background. So that's what I did there. Came back into Lightroom, darkened the background, selected the background, darkened the background to try to make the bird pop out a little bit more. Let me see, I've got this written down, so that's why I did so much to this that I couldn't remember it all. I went into, I removed what distractions I could with Lightroom remove tool. Some of them didn't work quite as well, so I threw it over into Photoshop, took out the big distractions there. Then went back to Lightroom. And when I take my distractions out, there were spots of color in here that I wanted in the background for interest, but I wanted to tone them down a little bit, like the red spot up in the left-hand corner. That was a bright red flower. So I knew Mike has told me before that I've got to get that stuff out of there. So, or should. So I toned that down with the remove tool in Lightroom. And the way I do that is I take it out and then I use the opacity scale or the opacity ruler, I call them rulers, to bring that color back just enough to suit me. Same thing with the yellow spots over on the right hand top. Let's see. I think that was just about it. I played with the contrast some, desaturated the red behind the bird. And some contrast and some sharpness, I think, in Lightroom to make the feathers pop a little bit more. And saturated, I think, some greens in my subject. And I think that was about it. I upped the temperature by a +5 and called it a day.
Yeah, let's see what questions and comments folks have. Okay, could be technical questions, could be aesthetic questions, a comment that how you feel about the image. Jean, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I spent all summer and like past 4 summers with my hummingbirds too. I think the neighbors think I'm spying on them because I'm sitting there with my long lens on my deck and just panning around with them. But I think you did a really good job with the hummingbird. They're so fast, and by the end of the summer, I know I can usually get them to all but pose for me. So they are very fun to photograph, and you did a great job with this. And I like the square composition.
Thank you, Jean. I try to make them look realistic to some degree. You can really go overboard with hummingbirds or any other bird, for example, but if you use too much denoise, you can really make them too soft. You don't see the sharpness in them, the differences in the feathers, that type of thing. So you just kind of have to play with it a little bit and see where it's going, especially in the whites. Boy, they'll really get you in the white. But anyway, thank you very much.
Okay.
I love these guys. I'm so sorry they're gone.
Indeed. Other comments or questions? Okay, I'm curious as to what shutter speed you use to stop those wings.
I don't usually go above 3200. This is probably shot at 3200.
Okay, 1/3200th of a second.
Yes.
Okay, well, all right, all right.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
takes
if
a
I'm
pretty short.
oh, I'm sorry, Dennis.
No,
If
just
I'm
saying.
running out of light, I may knock it down to 2500 or 2000, something like that. I've experimented some with them, and maybe somebody can chime in. I experimented with shutting my aperture down a little bit if you've got light, so that your feathers are a little bit sharper. But it's a balancing act because you've got a high shutter speed, you've got shut your aperture down, and then your ISO goes up. So it's a balancing act. And then you don't want the background to be really sharp either. You just want the bird to be sharp.
Right. Okay. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. All right, David.
So this is the story of a restorative project, and this is we're looking at a test print that is about 55 years old. And I think I know what happened because I have to kind of reflect back a long time. I took this photo in black and white at the time, and it was customary in the dark room for me at that time to, if I really wanted to print something, because paper was expensive and everything, to do a test print. So this is what it was, and I could see that this wasn't going to go very far for me as a final print. So I put it away because I liked the composition. This is my cousin. She's a principal ballet dancer at the time, very stylish young woman with her daughter. So what brings this all about is I wanted to give this image refined to the family. It'll mean a lot more to them 55 years later than maybe it did at the time. So right now the print is on my copy stand, which doubles as my living room rug. And what I did is try to get the best copy on my digital camera of the photograph as I could. You can see the tripod leg in the lower left. So it took a little while to square up the camera. Obviously, the sensor had to be parallel and squared away to the print. And at this time, I just want to say, because I've restored a few vintage photographs, you pretty much have to decide maybe what you want to do with this. Do you want to maybe keep the spirit of a vintage element? Do you want to make it look a little bit more modern and so forth? So I did a little of both. I really wanted to get more of a modern vibe to this. So the distractions in the background had to be addressed. The eyes being the window to the soul needed to be addressed quite a bit. Naturally, a crop, needed to be done here, and any other elements that I could at the time make better. So I took this into Lightroom and spent quite a bit of time on it. I'll tell you what I did, and I'd be really interested in your comments as to what you feel about the final version and what I might have done to make this is sort of an enhancement. Before I show you the after, I will say that in a small image, like on a message to the family, or just kind of a social version of this, I probably wouldn't have had to do that much to it, to be honest with you. But I played with it quite a bit. And Dennis, you can show the after.
Okay.
So that's the after, and it's not really totally effective to me. It's kind of an interim step. I was surprised at how much detail I could bring out in Lightroom. But anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at. The background I did want to keep. What absolutely didn't work in Lightroom was select people in the masking program, or select sky, or anything like that. It just made these these folks look like paper cutouts. So it didn't work at all. And so you have a crop, you have the eyes, which I spent quite a bit of time on, and this sort of version. The clothes were quite elegant, I thought, so I spent a lot of time on the little girl's dress to make sure that that texture came out. My cousin's jewelry meant a lot to me, and certainly the hairstyles did as well. So, Dennis, that's kind of the long and the short of it. I'm not entirely happy with this, but it was a real learning experience in Lightroom for me. Probably when I give this to the family, it'll be more of a version closer to the first than this. But it was a real clinic for me to do all I did, and to see if I could bring out as much as as I could in the Lightroom program. But I'd be really interested in anybody's comments about this.
Very good. And just before I open it up for comments, let me jump back to the original. Now that David mentioned the eyes and the little girl's dress and the jewelry, I want to take a quick look and compare. So I'm going back to the original. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you really. Oh, yeah, the girl's dress is almost blown out in the upper right part, and the eyes, yeah, they're much more. You can see the catch light in the eyes much better, and the jewelry sharper. Yeah, okay, questions or comments?
It's a huge change. It's really significant. It looks much better.
Okay.
I wanted to get it past the vintage look, because it's really not a vintage photo in my view. I put a sepia kind of tone to it, just to get a little bit of brown in it. But it's just really a bad print, and I didn't see very much vintage, about it. So yeah, I tried to make it as much, maybe a little bit more clinical than it deserved.
Okay. And you tried it just as a straight black and white without the toning?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually what you're looking at. Actually, has a sepia tone to it. It's pretty subtle, but it's there.
Okay. Other questions or comments?
Yes, can you hear me? This is Steve.
Yes.
I would suggest an upper right and upper left, darken those corners a little bit so your eye goes to the folks in the picture.
That's very interesting that you mentioned that. Let me tell you what I did, because actually I used a reverse vignette on that. So I like your comment very much. My reverse vignette made the corners lighter than normal, rather than darker. But I take your point, and I think it would be definitely enhanced to try the dark vignette to bring out the cousin and the daughter. That's very interesting. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
I have a comment about it. It's Patty Volpe. When I look at this, I see a lot of green in it. I don't know if anybody else sees that, if it's my monitor. I know you said you added sepia to it, which is usually a warm brown.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying.
I would try decreasing a green slider on it.
It got kind of wonky there, didn't it? I think
a little bit like
yeah,
that just kind of jumps out to me.
Yeah. And I think what happened is it kind of got that sort of tone, and I can see what you mean by the green. When I added quite a bit of contrast to it, just for everybody's information, it was very, very soft. And then I added the contrast, and probably brought out that green. It's very unnatural.
I think you've done a great job with it. When I look at it, to me, it screams green.
Sure.
Versus sepia.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay. Anyone else?
Dave, did you run this through any kind of noise reduction at all?
Mike, because of grain being what it was back with Triax film in the 1970s,
yeah,
I just left it grainy. So the answer is no. What do you think? It might have helped?
No, I was asking as to whether really my question should have been, do you want it grainy or do you not?
Yeah, you're right.
Because you do want it. And I have to agree with Patty to take a look at your green slider. I think the other side is magenta on the green slider. I'm not positive.
Right,
But,
right.
Back that off a little bit and see if it goes a little more toward not flesh necessarily, because you're avoiding that by toning, but maybe back off the green a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, from what you're saying, I think you hit it right on the nail on the head in terms of what I just call the wonkiness of it. It just the tone doesn't look right. And if I went to way sepia on this, it might be a big improvement. It might be more like the initial, because I did try that, and maybe getting the green out is good, but maybe going back to that sort of darker, warmer brown might help this too.
Well, you said you were after a more modern vibe.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's but
it was kind of torn. torn
Yeah,
between.
understandable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate those comments. This is a work in progress, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to bring it to the club. And then what I'll do is take all your comments into into consideration. The bright corners, the green tone, maybe the graininess of it, and so on, and come up with a version for the family. So thanks again, guys.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it if you posted it on the Facebook page.
Oh, thank you very much. Maybe I'll send it to somebody who could do that for me. Thank you.
And of course, Dave, we're always right about this, so you can rest assured. It's awesome. The people look just awesome. So you got some good starting point there for sure.
Yeah, a mother and a daughter, you can almost never lose on that.
Okay, thanks, David. Okay, we've got Jean this time.
Hi. Okay, so my husband Dean and I went up to Kings Gap in February. You remember we had a couple really, really nice days in February. I know it was a long time ago. And so we were scouting for you all and to see what we could see. And if you look right there, I think that's me. It's either me or Dean. But when I was looking at this, I loved all of the geometrics in it, and then all of the reflections of the orange. I can't remember if it was construction or something going on behind me, or if it was a snow fence. I don't know if you all remember snow fences back in the day. The farmers used to put them up so the snow wouldn't drift the roads shut. And then on the inside, this yellow is their railing. So I did most of my after in photo or in Lightroom. So you can go ahead and go over. So this is my after, and I think I know I did not edit this right after being up there as I normally do, but I don't know if it was Bryson or if it was our own Mike Donovan gave a talk about perspectives and in the Lightroom, the level, and then doing your vertical and then going back and hitting the auto button. So I just know that that's what I did in order to straighten up this building. And I only have 5 masks on this. However, each mask has about 80 different brushes. So I wanted to bring out the orange because I love the orange and the yellow colors in it. I also did burning of the tree reflection. And after I had it to where I really liked it, I then took it into Photoshop and got rid of, there was like stonework up in here, up in the right corner, and I didn't like it. And I didn't want to crop it anymore because I liked all of this metal pane work. So I took it into Photoshop to get rid of that stonework up there because Lightroom just, even still, just does not remove things to suit me yet. They're almost there, but not quite. So I think that's all I did on this, but yeah, I was really proud of it after hearing either Mike or Bryson, I forget who it was, and their talk and putting what I learned into practice on this image.
Yeah, very good. Let me jump back to the before image just to get a comparison. Pardon me.
Yeah, see that stonework up there? That's what I got rid of.
Oh, yeah.
And how wonky the building is.
Yep. And back to the after. There we go. Questions or comments? Come on, guys, don't be shy.
It's always great to see a scene, but then see the scene within the scene.
Right,
And
yes.
that's what you've done here.
Plus bandied your name about.
Yeah, except that I don't like Lightroom, so it wasn't me.
Don't like Lightroom?
No, I don't use it.
I typically do most of my work in Photoshop. So that was, yeah, for me to use almost all but one thing in Lightroom was pretty significant for me.
Did you give any thought to going even more abstract and just including the window pane?
I did not, and I don't know why. But I think, well, I think if I would crop it down to here, I would still have this over here because I like this on the right.
Oh, this part.
And if I would crop it to this first grid on the left, then I really like my tree. So I'm a tree person. So I probably wouldn't that was probably my reasons.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the point is that each one of us as a photographer needs to make decisions like this about what do you like, what's important in your image. Do I need to include that part at the top, or do I want to, cut that off and make it more abstract? Do I want it more rectangular? Do I like that section on the right that's further back or not? And those are all important decisions in creating the final image. So
I
that's
agree.
yeah. Other comments or questions?
It's very cool that the section you said was farther back looks farther back.
It is.
Yeah, why is that?
This is Doug Dean. Just a quick question. I don't know how this would work or not, but did you play it all around? Did you play around at all? Excuse me, with dehazing the image and seeing what the effect on the windows would be?
I don't know if I did or not on this particular image. I went back and I looked at all my steps and like there was at least 35, but
Oh boy.
I didn't, but that was brushwork, like I said. I don't recall seeing any dehaze slider adjustments on that. So maybe
Okay.
I'll take it. I mean, it's still sitting there. I can play with that after we're done.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be interesting to see what that
Yeah,
does.
good suggestion.
Yeah. Other comments or questions? Okay, thanks, Gene.
Thank you.
Is Chris Scott on board? I did not see Chris's name in the participants. He has an image. Chris Scott. No, don't know why. He apparently isn't able to make it tonight, but that's his before image. There's his after. And of course, I can't answer questions about the image, but that's before, that's after. All right, all right. Now, Kurt Wilkie has an image that he's going to show. So Kurt, I'm going to stop my share. And if you go ahead and with your share, it should come up on the screen. And then if we have a little bit of time, I have an image that I can show quickly. Okay. You good, Kurt?
I don't know.
Yeah, the green button at the bottom, share, and then it should say, give you a couple options. And if you do, do you already have the image open on your desktop? You can see it?
I do now. Do you see it?
Not yet, but if you hit
I
this.
do. I see it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I need to minimize my one screen here.
Okay. Do you see it?
Oh, it looks like a bird.
Yes, it is a bird.
Oh, what else could I expect from you? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so it's you folks see it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I took this recently, I guess about 2 weeks ago up in Canada, out fishing. And actually what I was doing, I was trying to find the loon that had gotten entangled with fishing line. If some of you might have seen that on the Facebook page, I posted that to see if it was okay, and wasn't able to see it, but came upon this blue heron here, and this was pre-dawn, or not dawn, pre-sunrise, so it was dawn. And my settings for this here, I was at all the reach I had, which was 560 millimeter, 1/100th of a second, so really slow, f8 and an ISO 1250. And so what I did with this, I did some global stuff. I
Sorry,
cropped
I've got
it.
a question.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who does not see a picture?
You were the only one.
No, I
I
saw
see
it
it.
and then I lost it.
I see it, but it's really tiny in the middle of my screen, like an inch by an inch.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
where,
Like
it's
an
where,
icon.
yeah, it's where Curtis Wilkie's name is. Instead of him, you see a picture, but
Okay,
it doesn't come up on the screen.
It looks more like a duck,
Uh,
like an icon.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
uh,
Stop stop your share and then hit the share button again and you'll see different options that you can pick. Look
okay,
for
let
one.
me go back to it here.
Yeah.
Zoom. Why am I? Well, I'm new at this, so this is going to be.
Okay. Well, take your time. Yeah. When you said a blue heron, I thought, that doesn't look like a blue heron.
no.
Okay, so you want me to go back here, one participant multiple. So I picked the, it says share, and then I want to do
Oh, now
content
don't
only.
hit don't hit the up arrow. Don't the little arrow to the right, just hit the green. Well, how's it?
Okay.
Yeah, and then up in your right-hand corner, it should say share entire screen. The blue block up there for me.
There's a blue block. It says entire screen.
Yeah, try that.
Okay, screens. Okay, entire, and then hit share.
Yeah.
Allow Zoom Workplace to share your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll hit open system settings or cancel.
No, cancel that.
Oh, okay. Huh. Won't let me go any further then.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Let me share, and I'll just say,
Maybe that's because I was sharing. Try that again.
okay, share, cancel. Share content only as background over the shoulder or side by side. Content only.
I don't know.
Share the sound.
I thought you'd see entire screen or you would see a copy of your picture that you could click on. Is it being shared in a program like File Finder?
Document, advanced, screens. I'm just going to hit share. And why does it say open system settings?
No, I don't know. That's enabled to make changes, but you don't want to do that. Yeah, and they changed the Zoom interface not too long ago, and I think it's confusing now about how to do some things.
Okay. Well, so you're saying that you cannot see.
No, we see the icon that comes up. It's a duck or something that instead of your picture.
Yeah, you can't see this picture then.
We're not seeing your shared screen though.
Huh. All right. Well then, I'll hit Zoom again.
Yeah, when you hit that little green block, what comes up?
Let's see where I'm at now. Is that the Zoom? I have to go down to my and the green block is lit, and then to the right is the up arrow, but you don't want me to hit that,
Yeah,
right?
not the up arrow. Yeah, the green block.
Okay, so oh, here it says preview. We can do that. Share preview.
Try that.
It keeps telling me to open.
Yeah,
yeah, don't know. Maybe this isn't going to work.
yeah, there may not be something set on your computer. I know Macs, you have to give permission for a lot of stuff to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you and I can figure it out at some other point. If you don't mind, we'll move on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, sorry, Kurt. Let me
That's fine.
see if I can get back to mine.
Very good. Let me close out of this.
See what let's see here. I'm trying to get
Do
back
I have
in.
you messed up now?
No, no, I'll be okay. Let's see. Okay. Whoops, on one. Hi, Mike. See what you did to my computer?
Oh,
I'm
that's awesome.
opening on one. Oh, okay. Do you see a picture of a reflection?
Yes.
Everybody okay there? You can see that it's not real
Yeah.
big.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Very quickly. I was kayaking down in Delaware. This is on a creek by the campsite. And this is in my kayak near sunset. I'm using my iPhone in a plastic case, a waterproof case. And I saw this dock and I liked the reflection. Okay. So this is what I saw. And unfortunately, I guess I'm going to have to, I didn't do this the right way. Let me go back here. I got to show both. Do what Kurt showed me earlier. This, hang on a sec, I'm getting there. And this, open with preview app. Oh, there we go. That should be better. So it's a reflection of the dock. And then I turn it to black and white, increased the contrast and flipped it upside down.
Hey,
Just
sorry,
because,
Dennis. I don't see the image. I just see you.
oh my goodness. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that. Did I share? Did I turn that?
I think we're seeing Curtis icon.
Share this window.
There we go.
Okay, that's the before image, and I wanted to go to the after image. Okay, there's before. That's the dock. So I'm going to have to stop that share, go to the next one. Okay, go to after. I'll share that. Wow, I apologize, guys. I'm not even seeing my share icon now. Oh, there we go. Okay, and that's the wrong window. Okay, I'll try this one more time. Share. Nope, not coming up. I changed it to black and white. Well, we're not gonna. Okay, I'm able to do the image, but I can't get to my share button now. Hang on. If I don't get it soon, oh, there we go. There we go. Now share this window. What do you see
That's
now?
good. Black and white image.
Okay, my goodness, that took a lot of work. Anyway, I changed it to black and white, flipped it upside down because I thought it looked more stable that way. I just like the way it looked, and I increased the contrast. But the point is, seeing the reflection first and capturing with an iPhone. So I'm convinced you can get quality image with an iPhone, even on a kayak with the iPhone in a plastic case. And like Mike, I like abstracts. So when you look at this image, it just allows your mind to wander free and think of anything that you want, whether it's a face or whether you see a pattern or at least something interesting. That's the objective. So that's it. Any questions or comments for me or any of the other participants? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing there. We had enough of that. Okay, how we doing time-wise? 8:31, that's good, a good meeting. Thank you to everyone who participated. We appreciate your attendance, and thanks especially to the people who talked about their images before and after. We want to do more. Well, the goal this year is to have more meetings with more member participation. So there'll be more like this. There'll be some where you just present an image and tell a story about it, and other things that Mark Albano is going to dream up. So all designed around member participation. Okay, any closing comments or questions? Very good. Okay, thank you very much. and good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
Okay. Yep,
Thank
have a good
you.
night.
Thanks. Good night, everybody.
Okay, we'll stop the recording.